Okay, so it is my great honor to be able to kick off the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council of C-Suite Network and introduce none other than our very own Kathleen Caldwell, who is the CEO of Caldwell Consulting Group and also the founder of the C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council and the Women's Success Accelerator. She helps guide and mentor successful women in business to achieve greater impact, income, and thought leadership. And I cannot begin to tell you how powerful it is that you have Kathleen in your life moving things forward. And I think all of us who work with Kathleen and partner with Kathleen in various ways in our businesses and in our lives, that is something where she is just consistently there, supporting, leading, elevating, and also showing the way where needed. And so I am so thrilled that we're going to go into this conversation today. The topic being C3, that is connect, collaborate, and cultivate. And what a great topic. As always, Kathleen, I don't know how you do it. You are incredible. So I will hand things over to you.
Trisha, Ben, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. As CEO of C-Suite Network, it is such a delight to be in sisterhood with you, partnership with you, alliance, because that's really what the C-Suite Network is all about, isn't it? It's connecting, collaborating, and cultivating relationships, new opportunities, growth, moving forward, more sunshine in our life, right?
Absolutely. And coming in from Cabo today, I can tell you that is exactly what I am so thrilled to be here doing. Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you for making the time to do this, to be part of our program, to kicking off our program. And aren't we all sisters? You know, we're business sisters here. We're colleagues, we're friends. And it's all about growth, isn't it? Growing and moving forward, because when we're growing, we're moving forward in life. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, Trisha. And thank you to each of you for taking your precious time out of your day to come and be part of our broadcast, our interactive gathering. And today is going to be a little bit different. Speaking of growth, we're always trying new things, aren't we? And to see what resonates with us first, but also what resonates with our communities. And so let me jump in. I have some curious questions for you that we could be asking and using an opportunity to learn more about each other in a fun way, and also modeling something that you can use for your communities, because I know for each of you, you're growing your communities as well. And you being the leader of your communities, bringing people together, inspiring connection, cultivating relationships, opportunities is key. Okay. So let me jump in. I want to share a couple just slides with you to get going. And so important to go in and really think about, you know, what are the ways that you are connecting with your community, cultivating and collaborating new things for people to look forward to. Because I personally think, you know, in any kind of environment, you know, challenging environments, economic unrest and uncertainty, whatever is happening in the world, and there's always stuff happening in the world from the beginning of time, you being the rock, you being the center point for your community is key. And, you know, we espouse this, we advocate this all the time. You are the center. You're really the reason that people are coming to your communities as well. So thank you, thank you. And Trisha, thank you for that lovely introduction. And like you, I am a speaker, an author, a thought leader, coach, consultant, ballroom dancing partner to my beloved husband, Michael. And that's one of my most important roles in life. And cultivator of, thank you, of communities of great women together. And so I highly recommend, if you are not yet part of the C-Suite Network, you're not an executive member, a thought leader within C-Suite Network, learn more about that. That is absolutely key to your success. And then, of course, learn more about the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council too. So just to briefly do a quick recap, if you are not aware, last week, we've got programs going on every week. We are stepping up the pace in our council, featuring our coaches, our consultants, our esteemed faculty members. Last week's program was, I think the term that the Utes use is off the hook. it was off the hook, talking about corporate sponsorships. And Deb, you were there. Carol, I'm trying to remember, you and Kathy were there as well. We had so many new members, which was really great too. Really great program talking about how to connect more with corporate sponsors, association sponsors. Really, really enlightening to move forward our causes and our business and our desires and our missions. And then, of course, Carol and Sheila presented an excellent program. Our esteemed faculty members, Reignite Your Style, Confidence, and Elevate Your Brand. Great program. The replay is up on our YouTube channel. And of course, flashing back to some of our programs, again, I could spend the entire program talking about the power of our great programs. And just a quick little highlight, Deb Creer did a fabulous program talking about her journey in life and how she's turned turmoil into triumph and purpose. Be sure to check that out. And of course, Kathy Dirksen, Maximizing Your Impact as an International Bestseller. Check it out on our YouTube as well. Okay. I can imagine, Saturdays, you just put on our YouTube channel and you get a whole weekend of continuing education. Okay. Really, really good. So what I'd like to do is have an opportunity to connect more with each other and to learn more about each other. Maybe the things that we're not even really have even heard before from each other, and to learn more from our guests and everyone watching our replay. So I'd love for us to just briskly go around the room just so we kind of get a little level set. And I'll pause the slides and to have us think about, just a quick introduction so we can kind of set the context for our event today. What's your name? Where do you live? So we can kind of get an idea of the geography. Where do you live? And the work I do is this. So something really nice to do. My name is this. I live here. And the work I do is this. Okay. Pretty basic stuff. And then we're going to move into more things about, hey, these are the skills I have. And here's where my growth edge is. Here's where I'd like to grow. Here's where I'd like to collaborate and connect. Okay. So I'll pause the slides. Name where you live and also the work you do is. Okay. So let's go ahead and pause. Yeah. Thank you. Who wants to jump in first?
I will.
Yeah. Sonia, thank you. Yeah.
So my name is
Warm
Sonia.
up the room, Sonia. You're the first to go here. Come on. Yeah.
So my name is Sonia Jante, and I live in Costa Mesa, California, which is south of LA, 3 miles from the beach. So I totally get what Trisha was talking about with the sun. I walk my dog 3 times a day. And the work I do, recently I was doing some work with Netflix, and one of the people said, "Oh, you're the C-suite whisperer." So basically, I'm an executive coach. I have been coaching for over 25 years, and I like that, C-suite whisperer. So that's what I am.
Excellent. Thank you. And Sonia, we know you're the author of a fabulous book. Would you show us the cover of your book? We'd love to see this. Yeah.
Thank you. It's called The Integrative Leader. I wrote it during the shutdown. It came out in 2021. And it literally is a model that I created for being able to use your entire brain in order to really deal with change and challenges. And I coordinated it into a model that looked at what's the return. So, for example, the situational awareness is something that we all need to be aware of right now. Mm-hmm. It's, return on where you currently are. Relationships, as we're talking about here, collaboration is return on interpersonal interactions kind of thing. So I used 6 stories of all the different leaders that I'd worked with. It's a pleasure that now I get to work with more women. Working at a very senior level for a long time, it was 80% men, 25%, 20% women. And recently I was just totaling what I was seeing as a trend. And I thought, oh my God, we're finally getting there, 30, 35% at the C-suite level, at the very senior top. So that's good. Of the ones that I'm working with.
Fantastic. Great. And certainly due in part to the work you're doing, the work that we're all doing, right? We're lifting all of our sisters up into higher ranks, right? Into more opportunities. So good. Thank you, Sonia. Could we do a little sparkle fingers for everybody? Come on, we'll get our energy moving. Who is up next? Yes, my name is, I live here, and the work I do is.
Oh, Carol took hers off. I'll go after Carol.
Okay. And our replay is going to go out through the masses of the world in evergreen and infinity. So we're talking to our next clients, our new collaborators. We're talking to the world. Deb Creer, thank you.
Oh, go for it, Carol.
Okay, I'm Carol Kemmerer.
Carol too, yeah.
Oh, I just swallowed something wrong. I live in Minneapolis, and I work with senior leaders to help them express their brand powerfully online so that it reflects who they are and helps them to move forward in whatever direction they choose to move.
You, Carol. Sparkle fingers for you too. And you're looking so beautifully purpley. That's it. That's it. Good. Thank you. Good. Who's up next?
So I'm Deb Creer. I live in Atlanta, but I am from Colorado and always will be. Right. I, of course, do several things like all of us do. I have Wise Women Communications, which is a full service marketing firm. We tend to focus on social media, but we do anything and everything that is marketing related. Excuse me. See, whatever Carol had, now I have. I have a podcast, the Business Power Hour, and we will be recording episode 911 after I get off of this call. So, been doing a lot, talking a lot, right? And then I started an initiative a little over a year ago called Trying Not to Die.live. Kathleen kind of briefly mentioned that. It is for anyone who is on a journey with cancer, whether you have cancer, you're supporting someone with cancer, or you're a medical person who helps those with cancer.
Oh, wow.
How incredible. And your community is fantastic, Deb. And my goodness. And corporations and associations and organizations that are supporting their employees and their partners.
Yep.
Health and vitality around that. So great. Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Who is next?
Yes, I'll jump in up there, and
Kathy
I
Dirksen.
am,
Yay.
yes, Kathy Dirksen from Vancouver, Canada. I also have this thing that's going around, so my voice is kind of funny. And the work that I do, I focus on supporting midlife women in particular to reignite their life and step into new possibilities. And one of the main ways I do that is through collaborative books. So creating platforms for women to share their stories, support each other in their wisdom, to become international best-selling authors, and to open up all sorts of new opportunities as an author.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And your women in your community are loving this, aren't they? They just love it. Yeah. To really be seen and promoted. Kathy Dirksen, congratulations. That's great. Good. Trisha, would you like to go? We want to know more about you. You're leaning in, right?
So yeah, there we go. This is wonderful. I'm Trisha Ben. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, technically, but I am in full swing on the road, some part of over 40 weeks a year now. It is wonderful to be able to say that, because that means we are post-COVID era. There's, the BC and the AC after COVID. Here we are. And what I do is, as a CEO of C-Suite Network, is my role is to continue to feed the entire network and the platform that supports executives, owners, investors, and influencers in their success. So that is very extensive. And we are truly that collaborative ecosystem. That means that everybody who comes in is in that relationship reciprocity of creating real value, creating real wealth and monetization of their excellence, and then also being nourished through all of the different things that we need as we scale and grow our businesses and have the impact we want to have with our businesses. So there's are a number of things that we do in the ecosystem, from our member communities like the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council and our larger community of all of C-Suite. And then there is our content. So we have our digital content, our print publishing house, our website, our podcast distribution, which is well over 350 podcasters content. We're at over 50 million downloads now. We have our video and TV content. And then we're running over 400 events collectively across C-Suite Network a year now as well. So there is just an extensive ecosystem, and every day we're adding in new communities, new partnerships, and new services to be able to support success. And I mentioned I'm here in Cabo. It's a constant, there's a constant reminder of the responsibility of C-Suite Network to vet and also set the standard for how we interact together. So we share principles: relevancy, reach, reciprocity, respect, and then also vetting. Are what people sell at excellence, and are they truly serving the community they're dedicated to serve? That shouldn't be revolutionary, but it truly is. And so that's something that has been very, very exciting, as we're seeing more channeling of business through to different leaders across the platform, and those introductions that one can be enough for a whole year's success. But if we can make one, why not 10, and then why not 100, and so on. So pushing forward. I'll stop there, Kevin.
Thank you, Tricia. Very, very great. And so it's so awesome to be part of C-Suite Network community. I mean, on a personal note, I'm an investor. I'm Kathleen Caldwell. I live in Woodstock, Illinois. Getting down to the villages in Florida very soon. So making a major transition in my life. And I love serving women coaches, consultants, trusted advisors, thought leaders to be more successful in life, in business, in everything they're doing. And to be part of a community from the very beginning, to be part of C-Suite since the very beginning, is honestly the joy of my life. So thank you. Yeah, I realized doing business is a lot more fun when we are able to collaborate with others, right? And more opportunities. And I will just share, as a result of a collaboration that I have started, I'm now able to connect with about 200 key business people that I'm inviting into C-Suite Network here in the next 6 months, and helping them break into corporate and how to be able to provide their services, their products into corporate. And it's going to be a 7-figure opportunity for me in this next 6 months and next year. And so you just never know. It came through one conversation that one person remembered what I said, and they called me immediately and said, "Hey, I want to learn more about that." And literally everything occurred. It was unfolded just so magically. So the power of one conversation with another person is awesome. So there we go. Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Did we do sparkle fingers for everyone? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. Curious question here. Number 2 is, what I love about the work I do is what I love about the work I do. What I really love about the work I do. Could even be, what's my why for the work that I'm doing? What do I love about it? What do I love about it? Because that just absolutely shines through. Curious question. Who would like to jump in? What do I love about the work that I do?
I love the people. I just love, hearing the success stories, working with such fabulous people. It just makes my little heart go pitter pat.
Yeah, so true. And, can't we see the authenticity, right? You just come through. It just exudes. It's so real. Yes, Deb. Thank you. Good. Who's up next? Yes, jump in. What I love about
I love the transformation. I've been coaching for 25 years. So when I first got into coaching, it was fix-it coaching. So you met executives that were probably derailing and not at their best, if you will, and allowing them to say, "Hey, we can get that back. We can take you where you really need to be." And now, as it's been more embraced with high performance leaders and all of that, and it's just watching them being able to get to the next place and go, "I got it. I know who I am. I understand what my why is, and I understand how to deliver the best way that I can." So for me, it's just watching that transformation. I feel like now I have all these babies all over the world.
Can we all resonate with Deb and with Sonia? Of course. Yeah. Extended family, right?
Exactly.
Our clients and our colleagues are extended family to us. Very nice. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Deb. Good. Who's up next? I'm sure you can resonate with what everything's been said so far. Yeah. Yeah. I love the thing I love so much about the work I do, and I love being in the lane where I feel like I'm using my gifts and my talents and my passion where it's easy. It's just easy. And like you said, Sonia, and you, Deb, seeing something shift, seeing something new that wasn't new before a conversation or new before an insight, and just being part of that special sacred relationship with another person or other people. I frequently complete calls and I have to sit back and just I just am so emotionally moved by the power of connection. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you. How about each of you? Yeah. What do you love about the work that you do? Yes, Carol, please. Yes.
Hey. It's amazing because we may all say the same thing.
Yeah.
that the transformation that we create in the people that we're working with. I love how I help people move forward, whether that's growing their business, growing their practice, or getting a new job, whatever it is that they are looking for. I know that having a heart-centered LinkedIn profile will help. And I just love doing that so that people can move forward. And it is about relationships, and it is about using our gifts. And so, it's so funny because it's like, well, I better get in here because everybody's already said the same thing and I'm here. I'm
Choir director, Carol, you're the choir. We're all the choir directors. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
want to
And we
say
can see
something about the work that Carol does, just to give you all a little bit of perspective, because I was never one of those that really decided that I really wanted to do LinkedIn full bore. I mean, I remember way back when it started, everybody was always sending connects. And for me, it was like, it's not authentic, it's not original, it's not real, it has to be real. Anyway, Carol and I worked together last year for her to finally elevate me to a new level. And as a result of that, I got found by an organization that is looking for advisors for different universities for their Women in Business program, Executive Women in Business. And we literally had our first meeting yesterday. And talking to several people there, about 80% of us were new. And we realized that we were all found on LinkedIn. And I thought to myself, I know that it would not have happened if it hadn't been for the work that Carol did for me. So I went, and when I was telling this to somebody else, a colleague that's a male colleague, he said, Sonia, that's the first good thing I've ever heard happened on LinkedIn. So Carol, thank you very much again.
Thank you. It's great to know.
That is a heart-centered testimonial there, right there, Carol, if I've ever heard one. Oh, Sonia, beautiful.
Yeah, good thing that's been recorded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think what I love most is that we're able to create a ripple effect of impact. So we're not just impacting that person we're working with, but now with their shift, they're now impacting their family, their community, their business, and then they're impacting their family, their business. So it really becomes this ongoing ripple effect of impact that we don't even know where it goes. It is just far beyond what we can even imagine. So that's one of the things that I love the most about it. And when I first left the corporate world to do my own business, that was really my big focus, is to be able to do things in a way that I knew I was actually creating a real impact on people's life, not just handing out more information and taking them through a system that didn't really change their life, but to be able to do something that really has a true impact on shifting. So
for you.
I think I would only,
Yeah.
For some reason, your mic goes out every once in a while, Kathleen. I didn't mean to speak over.
Oh, no, thank you, please.
Okay.
Affirming
Okay.
Kathy Dirksen,
There
really
you go.
great. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
For me, I would only build on what everyone is sharing personally, but what's even more exciting to me is that having been on the executive, of enterprise-sized organizations my entire career, other than a stint I did as a data programmer and statistical analytics expert, which is a truth that most people don't know. My whole goal was to prove that you could make more money, be more successful by doing the right things for people, because I came into an era of burn and churn, and in fact, through two very large downturns in the businesses that I created within those businesses, I was always an entrepreneur. We scaled during those downturns. And in fact, we're the only ones with the $20 million business I built. We were the only ones in the entire division of this enterprise-sized organization that met their targets or grew at all. Everybody else shrank during that time. And it was purely this whole notion of saying should in business is ludicrous. You've got to prove it. And so doing that was one thing. And man, did I find that powerful. And I just absolutely loved that, because all of our clients, when they were in trouble, they came to us. That's why we kept scaling and growing through those challenging times. They needed help and they knew they could count on us. They trusted us to support them. But here in the C-suite, the thing that I'm so passionate about is the mission that our chairman and founders set in the ground, which was, we're going to elevate and support and create success across this entire ecosystem. Not minions going up to one person, but really truly elevate everyone in their excellence. And so I love that we're able to use this platform that we're building every day. I started out in my 6 a.m. meeting this morning about how we're adding in our tech stack so that you can all be using our tech stack. And that's our whole mission, is just to be able to extend that to all of our members, to be able to lead and succeed faster, smarter. And so being able to do that for people who are holding all of the missions you just shared, all the passion and love you have for the impact you have with the work you do, that for me, that high tide raising all boats and really truly making that happen, not just saying it should, but really making it happen, that I just absolutely love in the everyday, even when I'm like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do this with this and that with that? And, so that just absolutely fuels me in every moment.
So true. So true. And Trisha and I met at a C-suite network event. I think it was about 8.5 years ago. Might be getting close to 9 years ago. And I was so taken with Trisha's professionalism, her executive presence. And then I connected with Trisha at one of the events that afterwards. And together, she and I and two of our colleagues, dear friends, created a getting into the C-suite, a series of 2 different seminars for the C-suite network in Boston, I think in San Francisco. And Trisha brought this amazing tour de force with data, just what you're saying, data and statistics and knowledge. And I'm sitting back going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I brought the energy and the kind of the connect, the people part of it, only to look up to, oh my gosh, the executive presence that you brought, Trisha, at those events and still to this day. Amazing. Really amazing.
Thank you, Kathleen.
By the way, those events.
I can't. So that was such a monumental moment, right? Because the percentage, to your point, Sonia, of women coming into executive roles, we have nearly 50% women in our membership. This community of women is just absolutely tremendous, and to make real difference, to support that impact that we have and the difference that we can make in business. It's extraordinary, and we're seeing that difference and how we are in community together. And that's, Kathleen, your leadership in that is just remarkable, and it's so important. And I can't help but share. We're out at a lot of events now, and in these events, there's certain things that happen that aren't authentic. And I think also the way that we set standards together, we have our principles: relevancy, reach, reciprocity, respect. We also have this demand for authenticity and real impact. Every single one of us mentioned impact. And there are certain things that are happening in the speaker circuit that are, I'm getting to the point of wanting to use the word hate, and I hate using the word hate. I really detest it. But there's this whole trend towards sharing personal trauma in order to pull people into their space of trauma and then manipulate them into a sale against something that does not solve for that trauma at all, in any way, shape, or form. They're not selling psychotherapy, and manipulate them into that sale that doesn't actually help them move their business forward. So things like that here in the C-suite, where we can say, no, that's not how you give a speech. That's not what it's about in terms of how you're seeing success and impact. Things like that. Again, anyway, sorry, Kathleen, I couldn't help but share that because I'm through some trauma with this, where I want to love everybody. I want to see everyone succeed. And when you see these kinds of trends, it's just painful. It's really painful to watch. And you see the difference.
Right. And so many great points. And, the ripple effect, the legacy, everything that we're doing. I also know for sure that we'll never know the impact that we will have if we just keep walking forward and doing our thing, creating community, remaining professional at all times. My gosh, authentic, but professional. I think the two work beautifully together, right? Right. Yes. So thank you. Okay, Sparkle Fingers. And then our final question. Yeah, our final question. And by the way, we're going to do this again next month in November. Not quite sure which week we'll do it, but we'll do this. We'll give enough plenty time. And then my intention is to go out into some breakout rooms and then create some more curious questions, which is something like this question. Our final question is, I would love to expand. This is part of the connection and cultivating new opportunities. I'd love to expand or cultivate new relationships, develop new relationships, or I'd like to expand into an area of business or enterprise. So I'd love to expand into this area, whatever that area is. And I'd like to develop relationships with these kinds of people, these kinds of communities, these kinds of tribes and associations. So if you want to take a moment and think about that, and this is our final round question. Yeah. Where are you going? What are your aspirations? And then we are all leaning in. We've got our radar ready for you on how we can support you. Okay. And then we'll complete our time together. And so how can we support you? Where would you love to expand or develop relationships in this particular area with these kinds of people, this type of thing? How can we support you? Who would love to jump in?
I'll jump in there.
Thank you, Kathy Dirksen. Yes.
And one of the models, and we talked about it at one of our other meetings, and I will catch up on that last replay from last week's meeting, but really looking at finding sponsors like that will sponsor the books that I'm creating, just to allow more women to step into this platform. Because at the moment, my projects are pay to play, and for women that are in business and they're promoting themselves in the books, then for many of them, they see that it makes sense to be marketing in that way. But there's so many stories, whether it's around, Deb, with your community with cancer, stories like that are different. There's so many projects that I would love to do, but it would be so much easier if we had sponsorship of the book, because there are so many real expenses that come with it. And then we want to market it appropriately and amplify all the women that are in it and their stories, and again, creating impact that way. And so that's one of the things that I'm looking at going forward, is creating models where I have sponsorship for different book themes, so I can allow in women that have these stories that need to be shared. And especially looking at global communities, so many places, our dollar is so far out of reach for them that, you know, in some places they're making the equivalent of $200 a month. So those people, it's not even an opportunity for them to step into a book if they have to actually pay for that opportunity. Whereas if I can create sponsorship programs, then those women's voices can be shared much more easily.
Thank you. Okay, so we're leaning in and thinking about our networks. Who can we connect you to? And of course, would love to have a one-on-one call with you, Kathy, to talk about some tactical parts of that, and how we can support you in sponsorship. And what a great business model. Part of the work you're doing is, of course, philanthropic, and then the other part is for profit, right? And the two go hand in hand, which is great. And they intermingle. Yeah, very nice. Susan Younger, welcome. Hi. Well, glad you're here. Yeah, we are talking about, we've got our final question on our Connect and Collaborate and Cultivate, our C3 event. Where are we expanding into, and how can we support you with meeting new people? What's the next phase? And of course, perhaps you could also jump in and why don't you do this? Would you tell us, we had your name, where you live, and what is the work you do? We want to catch you up and enfold you in our community.
Well, thank you for that. For somebody who's getting here late, because I was out doing that, collaborating and connecting. I'm Susan K. Younger. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I am a relationship architect. So it's all about building the connections and understanding who you are working with, so that you can embrace them at their best, help them see their best, find their best, and find the ways that you come together to proactively create for both you and for them. And in business, that frequently is understanding the fact that, especially these days, businesses are asking people to be back in the office all the time, and they may not understand what has happened to somebody over the past 3 years, the changes they've gone through, how that's affecting how they show up now versus how they showed up before. Your business may have changed. You may not have stopped to think about the facts that they don't know about those things. How do you bring all of that together collectively to help improve the relationships internally in the office, to also work externally to your clients and customers in a way that allows you all to win?
Outstanding, outstanding. So tell us, if you want to jump in now, who are you looking to connect with, and what are there people, communities? If you want to take a moment, we could come on back to you if you'd like.
I think come on back to me and
Okay.
Continue with where you were at. Thank you for
Super.
giving me that opportunity.
Oh, delighted, delighted. Yes, Sheila, let's enfold you as well. We have who you are, where you reside, and the work you do, and then we'll enfold you in our final question, which is, I would love to expand into these areas of business or develop relationships in this area. So we'll enfold you in that too. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I don't have much of a voice, so I think I'm just going to listen for the rest of the day. So, yep, still dealing with this cold.
And we've got something that's going around as well. So we're all impacted on that. Yeah.
It's funny how it's getting us all through Zoom. It's working.
That's funny.
The Zoom throat thing is real, right? Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So the area that I'd like to expand in is, I primarily have built my business working with really large companies, like in the billions, in entertainment, in aerospace and banking. And I would like to shift and be able to support leaders or work with leaders that are in manufacturing. I think that the whole trend that we had about sending everything overseas is not coming back. And so I think that there's a lot of need for being able to help people as they establish leadership in the building areas, in the manufacturing areas, in that kind of what I call the nuts and bolts things. I would like to be able to work with more people, and they don't have to be in the billions, they can be in the millions. It just, I worked, when I started my career in technology, I worked for Hewlett Packard, and I worked back then in the days when you really had all the authentic high performance culture and everything. And I know that so much of my coaching is about that because it worked. And so I want to be able to contribute, as I think that we're going to need to be rebuilding in America. So that's what I'd like to do.
And we're going to reach out to each other on LinkedIn and support that, Sonia. That's great. Very nice. Good. Thank you. Who's next? Where would you love to expand into? And are there particular relationships you're looking for? We can support you in this. Yes. Thank you, Carol.
So I would like to be more aligned with companies, almost any size company where there's more than one person that I'm helping at a time. One of the things about my pipeline is my people come one by one. And if they were coming from a company, there's a bigger base and there would be more people within the company that would need my services, and it would take less time for me to acquire each client. So,
have you thought about partnering with like companies that get hired by organizations when they're doing reductions in forces and all of that, and they package a certain amount of services that person can use, like writing their resume and all of that? Because those are established things, and when they're laying off, like Citibank right now, they're laying out what? They're probably going to lay off 500 people, 1,000 people. All of those people are going to need some kind of thing. But it's coordinated through some kind of an organization, whether it's Manpower or something like that. I mean, I'll think about it, but that's a thought.
thank you.
Great. Okay, we're leaning in and thinking for you, Carol. This is great. Yes, good. Thank you. Who's next?
Or oh, go ahead, Deb.
Oh, I'll jump in. And it's funny. I feel like I need to disinfect my screen after all of this, right? But here's gonna go my voice. There are several things that we're working on, but I want to lean in towards what Kathy was talking about, and that's corporate sponsorship, because the more let's be honest, the more funds we have, the more we can do. And so we are creating a program. Isn't this just the cutest little bear in the world, right? And thanks to Kathleen, who came up with the name, we're going to call it sponsor a bear hug. And so you can buy one bear for someone else, 5, 20, 500, whoever. And then working with developing very personalized packages. So, someone might get the bear and it would say, this bear is compliments of, C-suite network. Trisha, bug into your ear. But to be able to say, your friend Kathleen knows that you're going through something right now, and she wanted this bear sent to you. So that's kind of what we're doing now, is we're developing this program with our cute little bear, who is of course named Warrior.
That's awesome.
Nice. With a big bear hug from a tiny little cute squishy bear.
She's so cute.
Yes. Awesome.
And who doesn't need to play with a bear? Yeah. I love it. So we definitely need to talk about that. We're always on the look for great partners, period. People who can lead in the C-suite and deliver impact and want to be supported and delivering at that higher level. So that's a given. I think I'll build on the sponsorship piece. One, I want to share an example that I learned about this weekend. We had a musician come in to play at this event. Her model wasn't to have her concert paid for. Her model was to sell a patron on being able to come with her to the concert she gave for free because of who she was able to introduce during those concerts. And I thought, what a brilliant model. So she's not saying, pay for my concert, I'm a starving musician, we're really good. She's saying, I can introduce you to the top of business, influence, and money. Would you like that? It costs $25,000 a month. And I will take you with me, and we'll do concerts for the top business leaders and influencers and affluent groupings in this area, or, whatever she has scheduled for that time frame. And I thought, what a brilliant idea. So my ask would be, what what would that mean if you took a different angle on what you do and the influence you have? And then if anybody is interested in how to parallel and partner that with C-suite, I would be very interested, because we need sponsors and partners that will come in and ante up. We've been paying for everything we do, and it's extensive. It's not just the cost of flights and hotels and putting on whatever event we're putting on. It's also the time and the opportunity cost. So having meaningful partners where it's like, oh, C-suite's already doing a mixer. Well, what would it be to do a decision maker session ahead of that mixer? So we have 100 more people coming in after a very specific event, and you have an even wider networking opportunity. And then of course we have so many partners putting on events of every different kind in every industry. So where might the opportunities be there? And I have all of these assets. It's a matter of how they become useful in combination with any partner that can bring a sponsor to the table to say, look, I'm going to be doing this, but we've also have all of this that will support that to make a success. So that's where I'm thinking in terms of sponsorships and how we continue to scale really meaningful in-person, high touch opportunities. And obviously you could do things virtually as well, but in-person is really key right now.
Fantastic, Tricia. And it sounds to me we're laying the groundwork for another initiative that we can collaborate and cultivate new opportunities with.
Absolutely.
C-suite network. Yep. Our council and C-suite network. Love it. Good. Don't we love leaving with more new opportunities? This is great. Yeah, good. And by the way, if you haven't put your contact information, your LinkedIn in the chat, please do. We want to make sure that we connect after our time together. Good. And then who else would like to share? How can we support you to expand into a new area, a new domain, new relationships? Well, I'll jump in. I would love connections and referrals for other great coaches and consultants to join our community, join our council, so we can grow and we can co-accelerate ourselves, our lives, our businesses, our opportunities. So that's my ask. That's where I'm growing into. Thank you. Good. Susan, did you want to wrap us up about where you would like some introductions, some expansion?
I think also, like Carol, I'm really looking to do more with companies that are looking at a team they need some help pulling together, or specific integration, not just of one team, but of team to team where there's dysfunction in those ways. That whole piece of how they communicate and understand, and the differences that they are seeing now versus where they thought they were with all the technology changes that are coming forth. I think there's a lot of stuff that people are missing that the individuals have gone out and learned to do on their own. And we're still looking at them the way we've known them for years, instead of understanding how they may have grown themselves over the past few years. And how could that be a positive input into our business when they show them how they can level up themselves to grow to be exactly what they want to be in business, and they can do it here, not someplace else.
I want to share a term that you might find interesting that talks about when a person is sort of stuck in a particular view, and it's called snapshot leadership. So they took a snapshot of you in 2016, and now we're in 2023. Hello.
Fantastic.
Love that. Thank you, Sonia.
No problem.
Yes. And doesn't that lead into Sheila Anderson? Sheila, please jump in. And I would like to share, as you may know here and also on our rebroadcast, Sheila Anderson is a global style confidence expert. She helps people show up with style, show up with branding that is extraordinary, so that how you feel is how you look, and it impacts positively your business, your life, your opportunities. And that's who Sheila is. Written a Return on Image fabulous book, which is at my fingertips here. and global thought leader, TV celebrity. I mean, I could go on and on, Sheila. Yes, thank you. Good. Okay, good. So let's complete our time. Was this fun, sisters? Did we enjoy this? Yeah, really, really great. Good. We will do it again, and we'll keep expanding and have a date set very, very much in advance. And so be thinking about this. Is a great, curious question. Of course, where would you, with the people in your life, where do they want to expand? What is the game we're playing, we're playing, and how can we cultivate new opportunities? And here, as we just so appreciate each of you today. Thank you so much. And everyone watching our broadcast, we think the real secret to all of this is being powerful together. And we are powerful together. And always in C-suite style, we love what's next. Okay. So we have a Saturday morning women's success circle, which is gorgeous. 27 minutes. We have a new topic every week. It is fantastic. We're going, I think, on our 69th Saturday, this Saturday. Okay. And we're talking about connection actually this Saturday. And it's 27 minutes because the number 27 means new beginnings. How about that? New programs in October, asking for what we want and how to get what we want to succeed. Some of us, I will say, we could use a little bit more muscle on asking, if you know what I mean, asking for what we want, knowing what we want, and being powerful in asking. And then we're going to have a program that's going to be great, including each of you as esteemed faculty members. Who's on your crew? Who's really on your crew? And do you need to also add new crew members? Okay, so we're going to spend some time analyzing the relationships we have, the people that are in our crew. How are you defining crew? And to get everybody rowing together in the same direction. Okay, going to be two powerful programs. And please come join us in our C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. We love to promote you, showcase, highlight you, lift you up, and give you a platform to rise and shine. And so with that, how you do that, let's have a conversation. I'm so easy to connect with on Calendly, on LinkedIn. Send me a note and we'll connect, have a short conversation, make sure that we understand what are your goals and how we can support you. So with that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Leaning into the camera. Thank you so much for a beautiful time together. Really appreciate it. Appreciate each of you. And before we complete, maybe bye for now, right? Yeah. Say goodbye. We'll get that on the recording as well. So bye. Thank you. Loved our time together. Thank you. See you soon. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks. Thank you.